this week on the Bubble Chat.
She doesn't have the privacy that we have, so to speak, which is really crucial. And it's like being a public figure, you can't necessarily separate what's real compared to like what's being used as a spin to put you on the front of the star.
Polo the Dawn is her manager. Polo the Dawn at the same time was an upcoming producer, correct?
Reading Derek Huff's story really hit home for me. Not that I've been bullied, but the way he opened up about being bullied as a kid and how dancing became an escape, that's fucking powerful.
Scary at home, right? However it happened, and then you threw it away. But you still got to go to the doctor. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, right? So I'm assuming that's how all this came up. So that's like Jasmine goes to the hospital. Whether you have money or not, the person that I favor and admire the most in this industry is Oprah Winfrey, potato sack face, having ass.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Bubble Chat. This podcast where... Hey. Hey, it's Fat Out.
Hey.
Okay, here we go. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Bubble Chat, the podcast where pop culture, real life drama, and your favorite hot takes all meet for a juicy combo. Whether you're tuning in while getting ready for the day, taking a midday break, or winding down with some tea, I'm so glad you're here with me. We've got a jam-packed episode today, and trust me, you'll want to stay till the very end.
Before we jump in, we just want to remind you all to hit that follow or subscribe button if you haven't already. The Bubble Chat is all about bringing you what's real, what's trending, and what's being whispered in the group chats. And I promise, we don't hold back. So grab your favorite snack, sip on that iced coffee or herbal tea, and let's dive into what's bubbling in the world today.
Coming up, we'll be unpacking some headlines that had the internet spinning this week. Some serious, some hilarious, and some just plain messy. You know we're going to give our honest take and maybe even spill a little tea along our way. Maybe throw a little shade. Plus, we've got a quick check-in with one of our listeners and later in the episode, that is if we planned any, and a surprise thing that I've been so excited to share with y'all. Well, we've been planning a surprise, doing our little surprise segment, but it's a surprise for our new listeners.
Okay. And for my folks who love behind the scenes vibes, stick around because I'll be sharing a quick update about what's next for the Bubble Chat. Let's say we're working on something fresh that's going to bring the podcast a whole new level. I can't wait. Excuse me. I'm start over. And for the folks who love the behind the scenes vibe, stick around because I'll be sharing a quick update about what's next for the Bubble Chat. Let's say we're working on something fresh that's going to bring the podcast to a new level. I can't give you too much just yet, but keep your ears open. All right, now enough teasing. Let's get into it. Turn the volume up. Get comfy. Let's talk about what the fuck is going on. This is the Bubble Chat. Let's get it tied. Let's get it started with some hot topics. How you doing?
How you doing?
Okay, so here's the latest in the ongoing legal drama surrounding Wendy Williams. Her attorney. Say the last name, Jasmine.
Oh, Joe Tacopina.
Tacopina.
Ooh.
Not Tacopina. It's like a little taco.
Tacopina?
Ooh, got a little taco. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Joe Tacopina, who is not holding back. He has publicly criticized the judge handling her guardianship case, calling the judge's recent comments outrageous. What sparked this? The judge allegedly said that Wendy Williams' career was over. Oh my God. Taco Pina wasn't happening. He questioned how the judge with no experience in the entertainment industry could make such a sweeping claim. Taco Pina didn't stop there. He's accusing the court of bias, pointing out not only has Wendy Williams been stripped of her rights, but now there's a gag order in place that's keeping her from even speaking up for herself. He said that in the most guardianship cases, gag orders are rare, and it's alarming that someone as public and vocal as Wendy Williams should be silenced, especially when she is fighting to take back control of her own life. Now, we've known Wendy Williams' guardianship situation has been tense, but this latest development adds a whole new layer. Wendy has compared her life to under guardianship as a luxury prison. She claims she is not allowed to go outside on her own, use her phone freely, or even check emails without supervision. And yet, her team says she's fully coherent, aware, and capable of managing her own affairs. What this really brings up is a bigger issue. How much power do judges have in guardianship arguments, and when do they cross the line? Wendy's situation is a high profile, but there are countless other ongoing, those similar things in silence. It's a reminder that guardianship, while meant to protect, can become a system of control when not checked properly. And let's not ignore how much this impacts her legacy. Whether you love or loathe Wendy, her contributions to daytime and pop culture are undeniable. To hear the judge casually say that her career is over feels like it's more than just a legal judgment. It's something personal. So it begs the question. Now, Bubblers, do you think a judge's personal opinion about someone's career or public status should ever play a role in a legal decision like this? And how do we protect people under guardianship from having their voice taken away from them completely?
Wendy has been through a lot. She's been through hell and back. And first, there's her very public divorce from Calvin Hunter, which was messy to say the least. Then you got her health issues that forced her to take some time off from her show, and she has been dealing with a serious condition that affects her every day. On top of that, there's the very real and very serious allegations around substance abuse that we all know have plagued her for years. So when the judge chose to focus on Wendy's controversies, which I feel like is the case, rather than acknowledging the real struggle she's facing with her health, I think it's just off the mark. What Wendy's been through emotionally, physical, mentally, deserves more empathy, not a judgment or look at her past or personal life. I honestly think that the judge's comments were unprofessional and just didn't consider the full picture of what Wendy has been dealing with. I mean, it's easy for people to forget that celebrities are still human at the end of the day, and what Wendy's going through right now isn't just a drama for the tabloids. It's real. Joe Tacopina, I do hope I said that right. Tacopina is right to call this out because this isn't about her controversies. It's about giving her the space to recover and take care of herself without being fucking scrutinized for the things that are beyond her control.
You know what I got to say about this? I'm ready to whoop Kelvin Jr.'s ass. Because if that little hungry motherfucker wasn't spending up $180,000 on goddamn Uber Eats, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It wouldn't be an issue.
Kevin.
What? He ain't the junior?
No, his name's Kevin. Yeah, Kelvin. Kevin. It's Kevin. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I recall listening to her speak about that, and you're right. I hear you.
Yeah, it's like all of this really came over
red flagged her
over $180,000 in Uber Eats. That's what red flags her whole shit. Yeah. He would have been, and you know, I think this could have been avoided, but I believe that, you know, all the shifty shit she was trying to do to get away from the husband trickled down into just a really, really ugly effect for her at this point.
Yeah. You know, guardianships or conservatorships are supposed to be a means of protection for an individual. But the way that Wendy Williams is describing her situations, it sounds like it's control.
Yeah.
Especially when she's not able to make decisions about how her money is being spent, and there's not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of transparency that's happening. And it also mimics and parallels, like, Britney Spears, her
Yeah.
own
I was gonna
experience.
say that.
And then also, can we just shed light on the fact that her whole life, like, over the last, let's say 15 years, has been really at the forefront of the media, right?
Yes.
And wholeheartedly, like, you can't, anybody who has access to a cell phone cannot just say, like, they don't have a bias, at least an implicit bias, as it relates to having this information conveyed to them in their face all the time, and then being able to make a sound decision without any ulterior motives, like any subconscious thinking as it relates to her. So when that judge said that, it just made me think about how it can sometimes be unfair for people who are in the public eye being scrutinized at a different level, than it is for somebody that is like a regular civilian. Like, she doesn't have the privacy that we have, so to speak, which is really crucial. And like, being a public figure, you can't necessarily separate what's real compared to like what's being used as a spin to put you on the front of the Star, Inquirer, or Examiner. You know what I mean? And then people, they run with that and believe it to be true, and then there goes a perspective or a view that is like not necessarily true. So I think that a lot of this is messed up for Wendy, and it's unfair.
Really
And
is. It really
the
is.
institution that's put into place, it seems, is doing a disservice, because just because she has mental health issues, just because she has health issues, just because she may have a background with addiction, doesn't mean that she's not able to maintain her own. Like, we heard her speak. She
Yeah.
still got her wits about her. She's frustrated, though. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to keep her shit together when she's talking, because she's fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Trying not to cry, trying not to be super emotional, but she still sound like Wendy to me.
And
I
that's
don't.
why I feel so bad for her, because all that kind of stuff is nerve wracking. That'll make you want to have a drink.
Yep.
Like,
Or
it
crazy.
just drives her to drinking.
Yep.
I want to ask you guys a question. Are you guys familiar with who Truman Capote is?
No.
Not me.
Truman Capote was kind of like the first Wendy Williams. He was a writer, but he was a social snob. Truman Capote, he exposed his friend circle. So let's just say I exposed all the housewives of Atlanta, or the basketball wives of Beverly Hills, right? Like, I tell all they business. So Truman Capote did this back in the 50s to a particular group of socialist status women. And he had told their business, but see, he told Shawnee O'Neal's business.
Mm-hmm.
And Shawnee, Tammy, Evelyn, and Jennifer all sat down at the restaurant, and they said, "Bitch, we gonna ice this motherfucker out." They did, right? But what Truman Capote was an alcoholic. But that front lobe situation that they say Wendy has, his was alcoholically induced. And when they iced him out, he drank more and more and more. He died very, very sad. It was really, really sad. But as I was watching it, because they're saying that Wendy has what he has and she does not. Does this make sense? The correlation, like, she's a blogger, news interviewer, gossip lady. He was the same thing.
Okay.
Iced him out. They iced her out. And then, there was no conservatorship for him. But the thing was, he had that frontal lobe condition. And it's just surprising and very random that they're saying that she has the same exact thing. The storylines are very, very identical and parallel. Sorry, Wendy.
Wow. Well, moving on.
Yes.
Bless Wendy's heart. I feel so bad for her. I will say this. Wendy Williams is a legend.
Yes, and always will
but
be.
her content will be. But sometimes when you have so much negative energy, like the content of her show, like always digging for dirt, always with the shit, like messy. That stuff is damaging.
Yeah.
If you practice negative stuff and all that gossip and everything she did was like the tea and it just generated nothing but mess, it gets in your system. And I feel so bad for her because that's what made her money. They didn't want to see, nothing positive. They always wanted the dirt and the gossip. Bless her heart. But I'm rooting for her. She's a human being.
Shay, do you think when there's a person in a position where they are building their wealth on a position of just negativity, that are you saying that the universe brings stuff back to you? Is that kind of what you're highlighting? Because I can overstand that opinion.
Or energy period. So like if you just say if you had to talk about mess all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just gets in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if you work like with people who work at a mortuary.
Yes.
And all they do is deal with the dead.
Okay.
Deal with
yes.
the dead.
Energy gonna come down.
You got to learn how to refresh or get somewhere and woosah and cleanse. Ooh. Because that darkness, it's like a dark cloud over you, and it just gets in your system.
Okay,
if you
gonna get it, baby.
And it's like if you hang with negative people out there, you talk to a depressed person every single day.
Yeah,
and every day they got the same story, and you just listen to it, and you're trying to, change their mind. But if you don't go somewhere and replenish and woosah, it gets in your system. Same thing if you just say if you decide to go to church 3 days a week and every night you go to sleep, you put your YouTube on prayers. Mm-hmm. If you do that, it's a cleanse. Like whatever you practice is what you're going to feel.
That's right.
That's a good idea.
It's just like it's just like food. If you eat good food all the time, you feel good. But if you eat junk food all the time, you feel like junk.
Wow. What a perspective. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, next up, in recent exclusive interview with People, Keri Hilson opened up about the long-standing controversy surrounding her 2009 remix of Turning Me On, which included lyrics perceived as a diss towards Beyoncé. Hilson revealed that she did not write the controversial lines and was pressured into recording them early in her career. She expressed regret over the situation, nothing that her silence stemmed from fear of further harm to her career. Hilson emphasized her admiration for Beyoncé and clarified that the perceived feud was not of her making. She stated, "I never wanted to record it. I definitely never wanted it to come out." Songwriter Esther Dean also stepped forward, confirming she co-wrote the verse and accepted responsibility for the impact despite the controversy. Hilson and Beyoncé have briefly met, but have never discussed the incident. Hilson expressed hope for a future conversation to clear the air. Bubblers, considering Keri Hilson's recent revelations about the pressures she faced early in her career, how do you think the music industry can better support artists in maintaining their authenticity and agency over their work? So first of all, what was the lyrics? I remember that song.
Okay, right. That's what I was going to say. The remix never even landed.
The lyrics were, "Your vision cloudy. If you think that you the best, you can dance, she can sing, but need to move it to the left." That was on a remix to "You Turning Me On." And that's
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
So that version never reached the sight of day. It was never put on the radio. The remix has Lil Wayne on it, right?
Yeah.
This is like an insider sabotage
Mm.
for me in this conspiracy. How we gonna look at it? Keri Hilson, you know, Keri Hilson wrote that song for Britney. Every time they turn the lights down. You know that song by Britney Spears. Doom, da, doom, doom, doom. Oh God!
Give me more.
Huh? Give me more. Yes, she wrote "Give Me More." That was huge.
Give me more.
Yes.
more.
Okay, so she did like Candy Birds. That was supposed to be on her album, and she sold it to Britney Spears. Knowing I'm gonna get way more money, right? Okay, cool. And then she wrote for about like 3 or 4 other people, like big songs. She was like the it girl. So much so that it was time for her. Well, you might as well just record the music that you've already written that could be for other artists. Like you have enough in your catalog to make an album, right? Boom, she makes the album. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. Polo the Dawn is her manager. Polo the Dawn at the same time was an upcoming producer, correct? And then in the background, you know, now Keri's the artist. Now you bring in writers to help, which is where this bitch Esther Dean comes in, right? Now Esther Dean, Keri got smashed. She got slandered, left in the dust. We ain't heard since Keri came out. Because she had supposedly wrote those words against or about Beyonce. But those words were written by Esther Dean. Those words weren't even put on the album. We've never even heard the lyrics. We've never even heard those lyrics over music because they never let it out. Now, what Keri Hilson said was now they're acting like the remix is not, it came out as a remix. As in, it did not have it came out with a feature. It had Lil Wayne on it, right? So we never heard the song without him on it. It was always with him, right? So when they're talking about this remix, those words never made it on the track. And Keri Hilson said that she thought not to do that. She did not want to say that, right? But in the background, it was something that Esther and Polo the Dawn pressured her into doing. It made her do it. They was like, basically, if you don't record this, if you don't let this shit pop off like that, then we're gonna pull a plug on your whole album. So you got to think there would be Pretty Girl Rock. There would be the other song that she had, like she had 3 nice singles off of her album, right?
And she had like a few songs with Timbaland.
Exactly right. You see what I'm saying? Because they were that's whose management she was under. Now, ain't it funny that Timbaland and Jay-Z is very, very close? He made Big Pimpin' Jigga what? Jigga who? Correct?
But was he mad at Beyonce and was using somebody else to...
Timbaland and Polo the
Dawn.
Dawn. Even know. She was tied to Timbaland and was under Polo the Dawn production, and they made her say that and do that, but it never got released. We've never heard that. I've never heard it. And then on top of that, Esther Dean went on to write with the bitch Beyonce.
I believe she showed. Go ahead.
So it's like they cut Keri out. They made her record that. That's going against the machine and Beyonce. She gets cut, and Polo the Dawn and Esther Dean keep moving forward, and they work with Beyonce themselves when they were the ones that made the shit against Beyonce.
I believe that she showed real maturity in her approach, Keri Hilson, acknowledging that maybe some things were taken the wrong way and owning up to her part. And let's be clear, Beyonce didn't have to respond to Keri's apology. I mean, it would be nice if she did, but she's not obligated to do it, and sometimes silence is the best response. That being said, I think it would be great if there was some kind of closure between the two of them, especially after all these years of speculation, because when it comes to diss tracks or celebrity feuds in general, let's be honest, it's hard to see any real closure happening. We're talking about public figures who are constantly under the microscope, and a lot of these feuds just fizzle out without any kind of resolution. Look at a lot of bands where one person leaves and fans think it's
Justin Timberlake, Beyonce.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake left NSYNC.
Diana.
Camila Cabello left Fifth Harmony. But really, it's just that they've reached a point where they need to focus on themselves. So, for example, We got Camila Cabello. She was in Fifth Harmony. But then in 2016, she left. And then there was like stories about this feud and all that. But that wasn't the case. They were at a point where they need to focus on themselves. Camila focused on her solo career, and the then members of Fifth Harmony chose to focus on their thing, you know?
That pussycat doll chick. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, I like Beyonce. And here's something that I noticed about her behavior and her patterns that I've seen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What I noticed and I've seen is that she appears to dwell in light and love. And here's what I mean by that. When people have something negative to say, she does not respond. When they do things,
so true. Are you clocking, nephew? Are you clocking?
She has not responded. Right? She just, like, it's beneath me. Like, I don't have to respond to her. She was a global sensation when this transpired. Like, Independent Women, Destiny's Child, Destiny's Fulfilled. I'm pretty sure it was out by 2009. All the good things, right? She did not have to respond to Miss Keri Hilson, who's trying to make a name for herself in the industry as an individual artist. She didn't have to respond to that lady. That was beneath her. Especially when it's something that's negative. So I don't understand the kind of crab in the barrel type mentality behavior that is portrayed in the industry in this way, where somebody has to come for somebody else's jugular. Why is it not the norm for there to be homage that's paid or respect that's given to the elders that have paved the way, that have done a majority of the work, so that it is easier for the people who come after to then make their own way and make their own.
You just aged the hell out of Beyonce.
I'm just saying,
it sounds like she about Patti LaBelle age.
1990 something. I was in kindergarten, sir. 1990 something when she was
saying, you know what?
Yes. And no. I was in listen, I was in kindergarten. I'm just saying, she's done the work.
She's done
Beyonce older than you. Okay. Let me let you know.
But when I said it appears she dwells in light and love. So if you looked at the people, what's her name? Tanner, the lady that just said she was given up for adoption, and she and her mother thought that she was the product of an affair, when in all actuality she was part of the marriage that her mother was in. And she ended up on the Super Bowl with Beyonce. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? Whatever her name is, she like the mixed light skin looking girl. Why ain't nobody know about that story? Her mama gave her up for adoption, and she was actually the full-blooded baby of the union that the mama was in. She was the husband. Why y'all don't know that story?
And she was in the recent Super Bowl thing.
Yes, the one that just happened with Beyonce.
What?
But anyway, I said all that to say she was forecasting her future by putting on Twitter that she would love to do a performance and have a song with Beyonce and all those things, living in light and love. And Beyonce responded and granted that wish quietly. It wasn't.
Oh, let me go ahead on Instagram tomorrow.
Wow. And you know that other little boy, the boy who had the little gay boy.
What little gay boy?
This little gay boy had a video when he was little, and he was in the mirror dancing, recording himself on the phone, and his mama walked in on him, and he tried to stop dancing like that. And that video went viral, but he ended up dancing for Beyonce.
I heard that.
And let me say this. If somebody called me today and said, I want you to do this joke about Beyonce, I'm not doing that
at all.
You can't. I'm not going to do anything that I don't want to do, that I feel disrespectful just because that's making me money. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah, all money ain't good money, baby.
All money ain't good money.
All money ain't good money. And if you don't feel good about doing something, it's going to haunt you.
If you got to sit there and ask yourself, is this a good idea?
But see, sometimes when you're young, good idea. But when you're young and immature and you're influenced and, just ain't no telling what was going on over there. And you thinking that, she ain't gonna, and they influence you. And next thing you know, like, just sign right here. You just sign and this ain't nothing. And you done signed your life away because you're a kid and don't know no better.
Oh my goodness.
Because honestly, I'm 56 years old, so of course I know better. But I can't really say when I was 19 would it be different. But I agree with you when you say crabs in the bucket. So sad.
It's
so sad.
It's stupid.
Real stupid.
Yeah.
No.
Joe one?
Oh, sorry.
It was my turn?
Yeah.
No, it's my turn. Next up.
Oh, sorry.
Next up, Broadway star Kristin Chenoweth is opening up about aging in the spotlight, and she's doing it with humor, honesty, and a little Botox. In a recent interview with People, the 56-year-old actress shared her thoughts on cosmetic procedures and the pressures of maintaining a youthful appearance in Hollywood. Chenoweth, who partnered with Laura Geller Beauty for National Mature Women's Day, emphasized the importance of doing what makes you happy when it comes to personal appearance. Obviously, I get Botox. Look at my forehead. It doesn't move, she jokes. However, she clarified that she hasn't undergone plastic surgery and supports others in their choices, saying, hey, if you want to have a facelift, go for it. Get your face just on it. Chenoweth also noted the importance of moderation, especially as an actress who relies on facial expression.
Yeah.
Reflecting on her own journey, Chenoweth expressed contentment with her age, stating, you couldn't pay me to go back. She acknowledged the challenges women face as they age in the entertainment industry, but observed a positive shift towards acceptance and diversity in beauty standards. She highlighted that features like gray hair and curvy bodies are gaining appreciation, signaling a broader embrace of natural again. Chenoweth also praised fellow entertainers like Dolly Parton and Reba McEntire for their ageless spirit, suggesting that attitude plays a significant role in how one experiences life again. Her partnership with Laura Geller Beauty aims to empower women to celebrate their age and feel confident in their skin. As she prepares to return to Broadway after a decade, Chenoweth's message is clear. Embrace who you are at every age and stage of life. Her candidness offers a refreshing perspective on aging, encouraging individuals to make choices that align with their personal happiness and well-being. Kristin Chenoweth talks about embracing aging and making personal choices regarding cosmetic procedures. How do you think public figures like her influence societal perceptions of beauty and aging?
If someone chooses to Botox as they start to age, that's their business, not mine. And I fully support people doing what makes them feel confident in their skin. But I do believe that, like most cosmetic procedures, Botox should be used in moderation. A little bit of here and there. You get what I'm saying? Sure, but once it starts to get overdone, not only can it impact your facial expressions, but I'm not a medical expert, but there are also some real side effects to consider. Things like bruising, headaches, muscle weakness, or even drooping in the areas like the eyelids or eyebrows can happen. It's not something to play around with just because it's trending. And let's be honest, Botox is far from cheap. It's definitely an investment, and you're looking at hundreds of dollars per session, maybe more. And it's not just a one-time thing. You've got to keep going back every few minutes to maintain it. So it's not as casual as some influencers make it seem line. I appreciate Kristin for normalizing the conversation around beauty, aging, and taking control of your image. But it's at the same time, it's also important to remember that Botox, like anything cosmetic for that matter, comes with choices, costs, and risks. And everyone should do what feels right for them, not what society pressures them into. I know when I age, I'm definitely not getting a Botox.
That's very
Well, I
good.
definitely would get a facelift. I would definitely pay for a facelift. If I
What do
have
you
no,
think?
if I
Listen,
I would get a facelift. Yes,
give me a nip and a
I
tuck.
would definitely. I
Listen.
get everything. Anything. I love how older women, do whatever it takes to enhance to make them feel young. Because sometimes when you're like I'm 56 years old and I see
Beautiful.
myself, bless your heart, but I see myself aging and I have swag and I'm a young acting person. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when you see yourself aging, it's like oh wow, this is happening. You know what I mean? But if I don't ever get the money to do it, I'm not going to go into a depression. But if I had money, I would do it, and I would tell the world I did.
Listen,
It
and
wouldn't be no secret. I'd be like, y'all want to see the before and after? Like,
I will help you with the recovery. Let me go feed
yeah,
you some soup. You can't open your
yes,
mouth. Let me
honey.
blow. Let me blow the soup for
That's
you.
it.
Because
I am
listen,
all for cosmetic surgery. I am. I would never tell a secret that it was I'm not gonna act like I just be like, come on now, y'all know damn well I done got a facelift. And it's cute. And whoever don't like it can not like it. I don't care.
I was going to say you give your ass.
I'm so excited about this subject. First off, I'm gonna say we were all perfectly made in God's eyes. Okay, let's just start there. All right. Now, whether you have money or not, the person that I favor and admire the most in this industry is Oprah Winfrey, potato sack face, having ass.
Did you?
She got all. Baby, Oprah, do you know how long it takes to do Oprah's foundation and primering? An hour and a half.
Why? Cause
she sits in makeup, huh?
Why? Cause she refused to get a facelift.
Yes, and she ain't got a filler. She ain't got no Botox. She ain't got a facelift. She ain't got none of that. And I admire her for that. Only because
she got some body work.
But we talking about the face and the Botox. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for real, I mean, she ain't
might as well get it all if you're gonna get the face. If you're gonna get the body, go on and get the face.
That's what I'm saying. She ain't putting no mango peels on it. She ain't drinking no aloe vera water. I mean,
wait,
like,
what you say,
for real,
did you hear me?
You really just think
I said
about
she's saving that money for her dogs to inherit. Quit playing with me.
Hilarious.
So but then there are those of us who are not blessed to be able to age well. Now I'm talking about the people like this. Oprah is just one of very few who age bad and like this. But
that's because of all the weight she has lost.
Do you remember Meg Griffin? Meg Griffin, she was considered beautiful. And I'm not saying that she wasn't cute. She wasn't all that. But that bitch looked like a obliterated bag of Lay's chips. Her face looked like shattered glass. Demi Moore stepping into it. She done got some Botox. She been hit, but it doesn't stop you from aging. Tina Turner ages her. She took in her age. Angela Bassett gracefully aging. You know? What's that woman named Cheryl Lee Ralph? Beautiful aging woman. There's nothing wrong with getting older. I'm gonna throw but I know he getting all the work done. Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That man looked good to be 60 something. Haley Berry looked good to be 60.
You know, when I noticed that there was a difference between people that are of the Mountain of Caucasus and others, when I noticed it was a difference.
Girl, define the Mountain of Caucasus. That sounds kind of.
Suzanne Summers, what's her name? Who always had an infomercial. My grandma, her neck was never matching her face, and I noticed it. It was always red, and it was never matching.
Yes,
and I noticed it. Something is going on here.
And she always had lips.
She always had what?
Lips.
Faceless. The lips.
Lips.
How big is her lips today? Where Goldie Hawn at? Because she the one started the fillers in the lips.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I don't like when you do that. That looks like a filler, sugar.
You like
that looks like you did your eyelid like that in the mouth. Thank you. I love your beautiful smile. I love it. And to all the ladies out there, young, old, and far in between, you are beautiful. You don't need to be looking like nobody on TV, because if you look like somebody on TV, girl, you're going to be looking like a goddamn drag queen in 3 years. I promise you.
But if you want to do it, just do whatever you want to do. I'm sorry. Just don't do the Lil' Kim. Some people get addicted to it, and it's
Ooh,
ridiculous.
what is Lil' Kim?
But if you just doing
Little
it
Kim,
to
Michael
preserve,
Jackson, Vivica Fox.
yeah. So if I was to do it, I would just do enough to look like I looked 10 to 20 years ago. I'm not
You don't
going
want
to change.
to look 23.
Yeah, I'm just going to tighten my face. You know,
That ain't nothing but a
bring it up.
ponytail can't fix. Ain't nothing a ponytail can't fix.
Not a ponytail.
My mama
I
said
had
she
the
put her
money-
in a
Hold
ponytail.
on. What's the Lil' Kim?
Little
Lil'
Kim,
Kim doesn't look
Vivica
like
Fox,
herself.
Michael Jackson, they did too much. And then they get
Yeah,
that cat face.
because it gets.
So basically, Lil' Kim got plastic surgery?
Yes.
I
Oh,
don't see nothing wrong with plastic surgery.
That's
Just
how they look.
don't
Can
overdo
you
it.
imagine?
Don't ever
in the
do
morning?
something that you would regret, and then you can't change it, and you keep going back and back because you did too much. Just
Because you
nice
can't go
little
back.
natural.
Yes.
wait a minute. It's to my understanding that she was a victim of domestic violence and something happened with her nose.
Who?
Little Kim.
Hell no, that was Halle Berry.
No, it's to my understanding that Little Kim was getting beat on by somebody. Oh my God. I can't.
But she still did too much.
Yeah.
With her
I know
body.
Halle Berry got her nose done because she got her nose broke. Jada Pinkett, Halle Berry, they have nose jobs
Who broke
from
Jada Pinkett's nose?
Will.
Oh my God.
He did it to her before he did it to Chris.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Why?
I wish you know what would come from me.
All she had to do was he was gonna like it if she would have put an elbow in his ass. He probably would have liked
Baby,
it.
I would have been a plug out his face. You know that Corey Holcomb. Y'all heard about Corey Holcomb, the comedian? Punched some other female comedian in front of the Improv, and
who beat him down?
got away. No, in the Improv in Hollywood.
Don't say it was just hilarious.
No, it was. I can't think of the girl name, but she's not. She's just a local comedian, and I hear she might have provoked it or whatever, and he.
But you're not supposed to hit no woman. And he beat
exactly. And then he talked about her later on, like he kind of like bragged on it because he pretty much got away with it. But baby, he hit the right one, because I'm gonna tell you this: if a man ever put his hands on me, he better make sure I go to sleep, because I'm going to. You're gonna leak. I don't care if you do whatever you do, but I'm gonna grab onto you like a pit bull, and I'm gonna bite your flesh out your face. I can't stand a man who touch a woman. I will.
What did I say? I'm leaving here with something.
I'm leaving here with something, baby. I'm gonna bite a plug out your face, and every time you look in the mirror, you're gonna remember that you struck a woman, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'll lock up on when I tell you that. That is my pet peeve. Like when Puff Daddy drugged that girl in that hallway like a punk. He didn't even with that towel around it. If I was in that same hotel and just happened to be walking down that hall, baby, I would have ate that joker up like a cookie. I would have ate him alive.
It's like a cookie.
He would have been leaking. That towel would have been leaking blood. Do you hear me? I would have, whoa! And I would have grabbed his thing, that ding ding of his, and pulled it off.
You bit it off.
So I
bite it off.
I would have grabbed his nuts like this and yanked them off. And bit him.
Can we just emphasize what you are? I just want to underline, bold, highlight what you are describing. You are literally describing like the bystander effect. Like you are somebody you're witness to something, and you're choosing to engage and not just sit there and record, right? Not record, like be witness to. You're engaging, like this is wrong. I feel that was a security camera. Okay. I know it was a security camera, but in all reality, the world in this day and age will pull out a phone and record.
Instead of helping.
Before they help.
Just like the George Floyd. Ain't nowhere in the
they
world.
watched him. They didn't push the police.
Ain't nowhere in the world. If I would have been there, I probably would have been calling on Jesus. I would have been begging that police
To get
just
him
to
up
get
off here.
whatever I would have thought that would happen if I thought violence wouldn't do it, and I'd just be begging, please, 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 until he did that. And it's just something you just never know because stuff catch you off guard. But ain't nowhere in the world I would have been just sitting up there watching that happen. I would have been helping. I'm sorry, I just can't help that.
It takes a lot of bravery and
When
conviction.
stuff is wrong, I can't help but to get in it.
Yeah.
But I just hate when they do it to women, when men mess with like women and they're cowards, knowing they would never treat a man that way.
Domestic violence, it affects men too.
Yeah, we get that. Statistically, Black women have a higher rate of mortality when it comes to domestic violence. So we just gonna sit in that space right now. And yeah.
Well,
I done got all worked up, ready. I done got worked up.
Ready
I
to
was
fight.
sleeping now. Girl.
Blood pressure going. Ready to fight. I'm with you though all day. What you're saying is valid and it's commendable because I feel the same. I'm about to engage. What's going on here? I seen a white lady following a black boy the other day around the corner from my house. She had on a badge and was on a cell phone, and I wanted to know why she was following that black boy.
Period.
And
Yes.
I'm asking him,
Honey,
are you okay?
Thank you. I rode up on a man on the ground, handcuffed at the mall, right by Walmart in Richmond. And I sit there in my car. I said, I'm sitting here watching y'all because I see so much on the news. I'm just making sure y'all don't kill this man.
Period.
I'm going to sit right here. And I have my phone. I said, I'm going to sit right here and videotape because I just don't trust it.
Can we just talk about what is embedded? Okay, and we're gonna get off this topic because I don't want to we don't want to hold y'all up. Can we just talk about what is embedded in our DNA? How historically what others have experienced, we ourselves, like our generation, we inherit all of what they experienced. So if they were part of the civil rights movement, if they were alive then, if they were convicted, compelled, and have done that work, we ourselves are a part of that too. So I said that to say the way you were talking about how you would be convicted and compelled to impede on a situation where somebody was experiencing trauma. We ourselves, oh my gosh, to expect somebody in the space to see that woman get hit and be like, you should protect us because we're doing that for y'all. In the streets, doing that for y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I make a random confession?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, and Shay. What was you about to say?
Rumor has it that Corey Holcomb, the guy, the comedian who hit the girl, rumor has it, I don't know how true it is, that they kind of not dated, but went to a hotel before, and maybe he thought he was going to get some. And she changed her mind and said she didn't feel good or something like that. Yeah, and so I don't know why she changed her mind. If it happened, maybe he had an odor about him or something, or she just changed her mind. I don't know what happened, but she changed her mind, and they say that it's been like a little friction between them. They've been back and forth since then, or whatever.
Can I share with you a very random confession?
Sure, and after this, we're going to move on to our next topic.
When I'm around the police, when I get pulled over, I have assaulted the police. I beat the police as my own self, knocked his ass, cleaned the fuck out. I'm white.
Oh, you be acting white. I be acting white too.
My name is Brian. How dare you? My low taxes pay your fucking salary. How dare you? I wish you would. And I let the police fuck on. I promise you, I have knocked the police out. I've been in high-speed chases. I have assaulted a few officers.
Honey, my son.
Listen here, Bucko.
You said, what you call me? Brian?
Listen here, Bucko.
Yes. Yeah. You will not. You will not. I will tell the police what you ain't gonna do. But I'm just saying, I don't. So, like, I'm just saying, like, the whole. I'm just thankful to be alive. Yeah. I'm just because.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Next.
Yeah, moving along. Next up, dancer, choreographer, and Dancing with the Stars judge Derek Huff recently shared how Dancing with the Stars transformed his life and the public's perception of dance. Speaking at an Emmy consideration panel on April 6th, Huff, now 39, recounted his early experience of being bullied for dancing. He began dancing at age 11 and faced ridicule, but the platform provided by Dance with the Stars evaluated dance to new heights, allowing him to be seen as an artistic athlete. Huff highlighted the show's role in changing attitudes towards dance, knowing that even sports fans now commend the discipline and athleticism it requires. He joined Dancing with the Stars in 2007, remained until 2016, and later returned as a judge. His sister, Jillian Huff, also a Dancing with the Stars alumni and current host, emphasized the deep fan connection of a vital season for the show's adding popularity. Season 33 of Dancing with the Stars saw record-breaking viewership and voting, with Jenna Johnson and Joey Graziadei, I do hope I said it right, winning the Len Goodman Mirabal Trophy. Huff expressed profound gratitude for the show's role in transforming public attitudes towards dance and enriching his personal life and professional life. Bubblers, how do you think such shows influence societal views on additionally underappreciated art form?
He the one I was seeing with Christy Brinkley. Christy Alley, excuse me. The lady used to be on Cheers. Look Who's Talking, Mama. All them dancers, hoes and freaks. All them little dancing partners, they be humping and getting, they be bumping uglies. They be doing a cha-cha spot and they bump uglies at the end. I'm surprised they had 33 seasons. That's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm.
Reading Derek Huff's story really hit home for me. Not that I've been bullied, but the way he opened up about being bullied as a kid and how dancing became his escape, that's fucking powerful. I love that he didn't let the bullying stop him from leaning into something he loved. Instead, he used it as fuel to build that incredible career he has today. And that goes to show you the resilience and passion. What stuck out to me the most is how basically the fact that we were all told that dancing wasn't a real career. And you know what? That's something a lot of creatives hear, whether you're a dancer, actor, singer, artist, whatever. People love to throw around that phase like if you're not behind a desk or wearing a suit, your work doesn't count. But the truth is, dancing is a career. It's discipline, it's training, storytelling, art. And if you're fully passionate and dedicated to it, like Derek clearly is, it becomes your life's work. You really gotta stop discouraging people from pursuing career in the arts. It doesn't make you less successful just because your job doesn't look like someone else's. And I respect Derek so much for showing that a world that not only is dancing a valid path, but it's one that can inspire millions, build confidence, and create real opportunities. So I gotta give Derek Huff all my flowers for continuing to use his platform to remind people that passion matters and that healing, growth, and success can all come from simply doing what you love.
So when you say it hit home, Joanne, what you mean it hit home?
I mean, I was inspired to become a dancer, and I'm still an aspiring dancer, and I wasn't bullied for, I was never told that dancing was a career, but at the time I was a bit of a shy guy in middle school. But now as I start to dance a little bit, I started getting out of my own comfort zone.
Go, Joe.
I love.
All right. Can we see a little bit of dancing now?
Don't do it.
Can we get one dance?
Let me see your shoulders work. Let me see your shoulders work. There we go.
Can you do just one dance move though? What's your favorite song to dance to?
Ooh, Taylor Swift, name it.
Like when you hear a song that you be like, "That's my song. I gotta dance."
What Taylor Swift song is it? Tell me now. It can't be nothing but a Swift hit.
I have a lot, but
Yeah.
Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani is one of them.
Oh, you still stayed on that side of the fence. Okay. All right.
Like
What you say, Jazz?
Like,
I was singing the song for him. I thought he was gonna start dancing. Cause I ain't no holla back, girl. Cause I
I
ain't
heard
no.
that you've been talking shit and you didn't think that I would hear it. About to beat your ass on the grass, getting everybody fucked up. Come on, nephew. I'ma knock you out. Another one bites the dust. BANANA, yes.
This
I
shit.
remember hearing that song for the first time, and I finally learned how to spell bananas.
Well, let me give you your props, nephew. I love when you get on your soapbox because it gets soapy and bubbly than a motherfucker. I love when you get that articulation on. You be on. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I was clocking, and I hope you see me doing this when you were speaking, brother. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I mean, that's how the theater kids do it, and poets.
I believe that's one, and comedians too. I love it. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. It get real bubbly when nephew be on the soapbox.
Now, what's next?
All right, moving forward.
Selena Chandler.
I'm sure by now you've all heard about the case of Selena Chandler Scott, a 24-year-old woman from Georgia who was arrested after experiencing a miscarriage. On March 20th, 2025, emergency responders found Chandler Scott unconscious and bleeding in her Tyson apartment. After receiving medical attention, she was arrested that following day and charged with concealing the death of another person and abandoning a dead body. The charges stemmed from reports that she had placed the federal remains in a bag and disposed of them in a dump site. This incident quickly drew national attention and ignited a debate over the criminalization of pregnancy outcomes. Reproductive rights advocates expressed concern that such legal actions could deter women from seeking medical care during pregnancy complications. The case highlighted the complexities and potential consequences of laws that intersect with reproductive health. On April 4th, the County District Attorney Patrick Warren announced that all charges against Chandler Scott have been dropped after reviewing the police investigation, autopsy findings, and applicable Georgia law. Warren concluded that Chandler Scott had experienced a natural miscarriage and that the fetus had not shown signs of life independent from the mother criteria necessary for the changes under state law. Despite the dismissal of charges, the case has left an lasting impact on Chandler Scott and the broader community. A GoFundMe campaign was launched to support her legal expenses, raising over $23,000. I think that's the approximate now. But the incident has also promoted discussions about the need for clear guidelines and compassionate approaches when addressing pregnancy-related health emergencies. Bob, was considering the legal and emotional complexities highlighted by Selena's case, how can our legal system better support individuals' experience pregnancy related to health emergencies without criminalization? I just want to say I'm still disgusted by the fact that she was even arrested after having a miscarriage. Like,
that's what I was thinking.
Let's let that sink in for a second. A 24-year-old woman from Georgia lost her pregnancy, and somehow that became a reason for law enforcement to get involved. This isn't justice. That's fucking cruelty. What makes me even more sick is that in some states, pregnancy loss is literally being treated like a crime. And
yes,
we've been seeing this more and more, especially ever since Roe versus Wade was overturned in 2022. I don't give a fuck what. Sorry, let me be a little bit.
You know what you meant. You meant what you said.
Yeah, I don't care what side of the abortion and debate you fall on, but the fact that we're turning miscarriages, which are medically common, into crime scenes, that's not just dangerous. That's dystopian. Let's be real. Miscarriages are not something that someone. Sorry, miscarriages are not something someone can just control or cause on purpose. The most common reason they happen is because of chromosome abnormalities in the embryo of the fetus. It's nature, it's biology, and even beyond miscarriage, we have to remember that stillbirth is another form of baby loss that habitually becomes a taboo subject, and yet there's still this disturbing pattern of blaming pregnant people for outcomes that are usually out of their hands. And again, I'm not here to argue whether you believe in abortion or not, but what I am going to say is this. there are teens, young women, and people across this country who get pregnant specifically after being raped while still in high school or while they're just trying to build a life for themselves. They may not be ready for a child. They may not be able to afford diapers, and They may want to go to college, pursue a dream, or just figure out who they are. That decision, whether to carry a pregnancy or not, should be theirs, not the state, not the government. Period. And going back to Selena's case, it's just heartbreaking. And the fact that there was a GoFundMe to help cover her legal expenses says a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if her family ends up filing a lawsuit. And honestly, I believe they should, because this is a bigger case. This is bigger than one case. It's about the kind of country we're choosing to live in and how we treat people during one of the most vulnerable moments of their lives. We just need to do better.
I agree with you 100%, nephew. And it's got soapy again because that soapbox is all we just had to do is add some water to it.
I guess there's like other aspects to this case as it relates to her maybe having addiction, health issues, and this being poverty related.
I think that she.
Right.
So it says she had a miscarriage, right?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a stillbirth. It was a miscarriage.
Okay, she had a miscarriage and she's 24.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, was she from Georgia or was she in Georgia because she's in school?
I think she's from Georgia. I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So does she have medical like coverage? Because if she had a miscarriage. Now, I don't know what it is to be a woman or to have a miscarriage.
Right. So does medical coverage warrant how you should be treated? Regardless, she gonna get a bill, and whether or not she'll be able to pay it or her insurance agency paying it is a determining factor. But the that off, regardless, they gonna get compensation some kind of way. They're gonna figure it out, right? So whether or not she has insurance should not dictate how she's treated.
Well, no, my thing is it's not about how she was treated. I'm talking about how she put that baby in that trash can. That's what you see what I'm saying? Like she tried to dispose of it her own self.
Okay, so
I think that's what was said by the reporter,
and that's why that public charge is against her.
Baby corpse on a trash can, but that's just what I've researched. I don't know for sure if it actually happened.
But okay, so it kind of all makes sense. If you had a miscarriage at home, right? However it happened, and then you threw it away, but you still got to go to the doctor. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, right? So I'm assuming that's how all this came up. So that's like Jasmine goes to the hospital, and Shay is a physician, and Shay come back and tell me like, this bitch didn't have a baby. There ain't no damn baby. She talking about she don't know what the hell didn't happen. You call the authorities. You see what I'm saying? Like the one step had to be taken to backtrack and get the other one. So I'm assuming that they charged her because she disposed of the baby in the trash heap, and then they had to do the. Oh, you look scary as hell, Jasmine. You look scary as hell.
It was just.
I don't want to talk no more.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm in the car.
You was looking like Megan in the back of the car when she killed that little boy.
Oh my goodness! It was almost as if that this is a wake up call, just shedding additional light on the fact that there's injustice in how people are treated based on the color of their skin in the hospital setting, in the healthcare setting. Had she have been white, married, insured, this would have been the same circumstances. Would she have been treated with tenderness and care? We understand.
She was Asian or Mexican. Was she got deported?
You know what I'm saying? Like all these things to consider. Like, there is a disparity. Why was she arrested? Why didn't they say, baby, you need help? Postpartum is a thing. You just went through a traumatic experience. We get it.
I'm just coochie loose as a bowl of chili. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Well, all right. We're going to take a quick break. So grab you a snack, refill that coffee, or just take a moment to stretch out. We'll be right back We've got some more headlines, some more hot takes, and of course, more bubble chat energy that you know and love. And hey, if you're vibing with this episode so far, don't forget to rate us with 5 stars, leave a review, and share with one of your friends who always wants the tea but never knows where to find it. So stick the fuck around, and we'll be right back after this short break. And motherfuckers, just like that, we back. Hope y'all got your water, your snacks, maybe you got a little scroll before you came back. Now, we're recharged. It's time to switch gears and step into some of our favorite segments. It's where we dig into the pop culture from a time capsule, moments from way back that still deserve spotlights today. The stories we wish we talked about when they first dropped, and honestly, well, the mess never really fell that far from the chat. We're taking you back to the throwbacks, headlines that age like fine wine, curdled milk, depending on how you see it. So buckle up because the flashbacks still have plenty of heat, and let's get into it.
Let's rewind to early 2022 when the Spears sister Jamie Lynn Spears, while promoting her memoir, Things I Should Have Said, recounted an incident on Nightline where she alleged that Britney once locked them in a room with a knife. Britney fired back on X, formerly Twitter, calling the story crazy lies and labeling Jamie Lynn a, quote, scum, asserting that the only knife she ever saw Jamie Lynn with was for cutting squash. The tension escalated as Britney accused her for book sales in response. Britney's attorney sent a cease and desist letter demanding that Jamie Lynn stop referencing her during the memoir's promotion. Jamie Lynn, meanwhile, insisted she had always supported Britney and expressed frustration over their private conversations not aligning with Britney's public post. She claimed that Britney's social media comments led to death threats against her family. This public dispute highlighted the complexities of family dynamics under the scrutiny of fame. It also raised questions about the boundaries of personal narratives and the impact of sharing family stories in the public domain. Considering the public fallout between Britney and Jamie Lynn Spears, how do you think sharing personal family experiences in memoirs affects family relationships, especially when both parties are in the public eye?
I think it's messy, it's painful, and it's giving broken sisterhood energy to this day. Whether the relationship was damaged during the conservatorship or even before, I truly believe their bond as sisters was, or maybe still is, fractured. Now, as far as the interview where Jamie Lynn brought up the knife antidote, that caught a lot of people off guard. And if I'm being real, I don't even think it was something that should have been made public, especially if Brittany didn't give her blessing to share it. The same goes for that memoir Jamie Lynn released. If parts of Brittany's life, especially sensitive parts around her mental health or her time under the conservatorship, were included without her consent, then that's crossing the line. I think they were both so young when they got into this industry, and Britney was out here writing albums, shaping pop music, and putting her life on the line for performances. Behind the scenes, she was battling a conservatorship, however. So let's be honest, it was hell on earth. So, so to take parts of that struggle and fold it into interviews or books for the sake of a headline, that's just not just messy, that's harmful.
Mm-hmm. It's just the syndrome of a B-list sibling, you know. It's we have the Hiltons, we have Paris and there's Nikki, you know. We have don't Jessica Simpson have a sister? There was Jessica, then there was Ashley.
Ashley,
you know,
okay.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you just girl, there's Brittany, and then we got Jamie Lynn. Yeah, Beyonce and Solange. It's just that little one. You just falling a little short of a big sis, the bigger sibling, and it's okay. It's all right, but
I'm all for people sharing their stories, but there's the right way to do it.
Yeah, it's just, but at the end of the day, that ain't nothing but tacky country white trash.
Is that why Britney was dancing with the knives in her panties?
Yeah.
She was pissed.
And she was like, bitch, throw me some squash.
Knives in her panties. As soon as that conservative ended, she was in the panties. Pussy. Yeah, not eye patch pussy, because it was about the size of an eye patch in that pussy. Oh my God. You like that?
Oh my gosh, dance with
I don't have to take
Why,
it.
Brig?
It look like mom wants to go to bed.
All right, so
Okay.
and that's a wrap for this episode of the Bubble Chat. We hope that you laugh, side eye, and maybe even a little more something along the way. From the headlines of today to the messiness of yesterday, y'all already know we're going to bring that shit up every time. So don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss a drop. We want you to rate us. We want you to leave a review. Tell your motherfucking friend because the tea tastes here better when it's shared. Catch us on the next time for some more drama, more dialogue, and more deep dives into culture that keeps on bubbling. Until then, we want you to stay curious, stay unfiltered, and most of all, stay in the chat. We bubbling out, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Good night.
Bye. Night.
Night.